You know, watching this episode made me realize something. You know that pose they do during the ending credits? Doesn't it look a lot like that stupid arch pose they did in those old McDonald's commercials? Boy, wouldn't it be funny if they were actually like one of the sponsors of this anime, and this was all some kind of subliminal message to lure kids to their restaurants? Who would that be? It's all a conspiracy. This week's episode opens with the Precure enjoying one of their newest sweet creations, flamingo-shaped and colored churros. Fun fact, I actually looked up churros in Japan, and apparently they are pretty popular and do come in a variety of colors, including pink. Though every time I see treats of this sort of palette, I always end up thinking the same thing.
とはいえ、サイドが強ければ強いほど逆に着色料とか製造成分を疑っちゃいそうで複雑な世の中だ。
First world problems, am I right? However, before they could enjoy their treats and Himari's exposition dump, they're approached by some creepy old dude who makes me regret the fact that I already wasted my stranger danger joke last week. Anyway, he turned out to be a local greengrocer who was looking for help to make viral videos to advertise the shopping arcade. Seeing this as an opportunity to garner some free PR for her shop, Ichika gladly accepts. Ah, I see that McD sponsorship has also turned our main heroine into a regular Ray Kroc. However, Karma ends up striking rather quickly when she's forced to fulfill the Ronald McDonald role, while Himari gets the reporter role she wanted. Hey, look on the bright side, Ichika. At least you don't look as bad as your predecessors. Okay, why is it that Precure gives me so many opportunities to make stranger danger jokes? Anyway, all that aside, we finally get to the actual main conflict of the episode. Himari overcoming her anxiety issues. Yeah, this is far from the first time we've seen this, especially in Precure in regards to the yellow cures. But hey, anxiety isn't something people instantly get over. And to be fair, they were planning on uploading her onto a viral video website, so I can understand Himari's trepidation, especially when it comes to posting a video on the internet. For everyone to see you, judge you, even though they understand nothing about you. I tried my best here, people! Give me a break! But yeah, I imagine that's the kind of thoughts that are going through poor little Himari's mind. And unfortunately, it does start to eat away at her, particularly when their first few uploads fail to gain any major following. Personally, I blame it more on the oversaturation of viral videos, making it so that you have to become a meme in order to mean anything. But unfortunately, no one tells Himari this. As a result, she was wide open to some manipulation by Julio. Oh yeah, almost forgot to mention, at the beginning of this episode, he is able to figure out the identities of the remaining Precure, which officially makes him smarter than most Saturday morning villains. He essentially tells her that if she's incapable of reporting properly, then she may as well just let the Precure come in to spark some good PR. Now, while it might seem like his primary objective here was to lure the Precure out into the open, I think his little talk was meant to destroy Himari's self-esteem by essentially calling her useless to her face. And it seemed to work for a little while, until Himari found the confidence to answer a little girl's question about how churros are made. To Himari, learning about how her favorite treats are made gave her a deeper appreciation for them, and therefore made eating them a lot more enjoyable. Thus, she wanted to share that same feeling with the little girl, and it worked. And as it turns out, this was all according to Keikaku for Julio, who chose this moment to steal some Kirakira. Harvesting people's enjoyment of food after teaching them about it, and then using it for devious purposes. Okay, I can't be the only one who thinks the big bad of this anime is going to turn out to be Alton Brown, considering the show he's currently hosting. But yeah, while incapacitating a Precure through depression would have been beneficial in its own right, Julio was basically hoping Himari would get her heroic second win, just so that she would unknowingly help him harvest a larger amount of Kirakira than usual. Forget Cubate, this guy is the ultimate magical girl troll. With his newly acquired Kirakira, he again turned his wand into a weapon, this time a bow and arrow. So yeah, for the time being, instead of MOTW's Monsters of the Week, we're going to be getting WOTW's Weapons of the Week. Looks like some kind of bad wrestling promotion, doesn't it? Anyway, they have a decent fight with him, even though it's obvious the production values are down compared to the previous episodes, but Himari does get her moment to use an impressive new defensive spell, and again they purify the inanimate object. I'm sorry, that'll never come off as anything besides odd to me. They rescue the little girl and her mother, and thus the episode ends with the Precure happily learning that their latest video is getting a realistically small spike in their view counts. But hey, we all have to start somewhere, and at least Himari's looking like a proper report right now. Anyway, this was a pretty good episode. Really can't complain that much about episodes like this, as it is meant to be both a character building and cool down episode after some heavy plot developments last time. What puts this episode in the above average category for me were the main heroine and villain. Himari is slowly becoming my favorite yellow cure of all time, if only for being a shy character who develops in a very realistic way. Yeah, she's still a bundle of nerves and everything, but she's also clearly not the same girl she was back in episode 2. She is gaining confidence and learning how to communicate with others. And as I said before, as someone who grew up having next to no communication skills, this is heartwarming to see. I think it was only appropriate that they played her insert song while she was teaching the little girl about churros. Because more than a fight with a silly monster, this was Himari's high point in her development. Meanwhile, Julio continues to be an awesome villain. I don't even mind that we're not going to have MOTWs for a while because he is such an effective baddie. The fact that he turned what would have been a significant defeat for other villains into a minor victory really drives home how badly this anime needed a villain like him. It seems like every week he's going to use the battles as a means of collecting new information about how Kirakira works, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. On a last little side note, I liked the little bit of foreshadowing they did for the next episode, which I'll be sure to bring up next week. But until then, farewell for now, my friends, and... You know what, I think I'm gonna launch a little investigation of Elton Brown, just to make sure he's not up to anything. Can never trust that guy.